Are we here?
Hi.
We
Hi,
hear
how are you?
indeed.
Thank you everyone for joining us today in our webinar. We will be covering today, let me just 1 second. We will covering today this topic, tech expert for non-tech founder, where we will talk about the importance of having a tech expert by your side while starting or growing your business. So some of the topics we will cover are the importance, the business impact of tech leadership, different options of tech leadership, the pros and cons of each one. We will have also a Q&A section, and then we will arrive to a conclusion together. And today's speakers are Andrés Unino, our CEO and co-founders of Circontech, and Miguel Martin, our commercial director. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you both. Well, we are ready to have you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Valeria, for the introduction. Andres, thanks for joining us as well. And I think we can jump in straight into the business impact, right, of a solid tech leadership and how it can help you thrive in your business, in your startup. And one of the points that we mentioned in earlier meetings was how a strong tech leader can help you future-proofing your business. So, Andres, what comment would you make about that? How a strong tech leader can help you with this specific point?
Yeah, that's a great introduction. Thanks, Miguel. I think today is critical. Of course, we have different businesses in which some of them they have nothing to do with technology. Of course, we are talking about businesses in which technology is something important. And in that case, at the time that we choose which technology are we gonna use, we need to look into the future. It's not a solution that is going to work now, that is going to work today. It's a solution that needs to work in the coming years. So we need to be aware of that. So that's one of the reasons that you need to know what you are building in order to secure that your business is not going to only run now, it's going to run in the future using the technology that you are deciding to use, right? And then I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Go.
No, I
No.
was going to go to the second point, sorry, on that. I think also at the time that you define the technology, if you are looking for investment in your company, of course, mainly we are talking about investment from people, mainly US or this type of countries in which they are really advanced regarding technology and this type of investment. But I think for most of them, it is critical. They are going to look into not only the technology that you are using, but also the people that is defining that technology. I don't know if you agree, Miguel.
No, I'm totally with you, and it's about bringing in a little bit of empathy and putting yourself in the shoes of the individual who's considering investing in your business, and it's not just about the choice of the actual tech employee, but like you mentioned, Andres, as well. Who is the people behind it? Who is the people running it? Can I work with this set of individuals? Have all the foundations been laid out correctly in the first place, or would part of the cash injection that we're talking about would be destined to fix problems of things that haven't been built correctly in the first place, for example? So having that tech partner by your side that can help you out with not only with the tech, but with your pitches, with investment pitches, and can justify it from a tech standpoint why these choices have been made and how these choices actually align with the business objectives. I think it's absolutely critical in the time where investment is a little bit scarce now. It's not as easy as in the past to actually get investment. There's a lot of scrutiny, as you would expect. And I think a solid tech partner that can be with you in this critical moment, it's essential. So shall we jump into the next one of one of my
I
favorites?
think I think it is. No, the next. Sorry. Yeah. No, I think it is. It is attached to this point in which the ones that are gonna look into the money that they're gonna put in your company, they're gonna look into the return on investment, right? So it's not only to look at the money that I'm gonna invest right now. It's also to look into what could be called the total cost of ownership or of a solution. So it is the money that I'm gonna spend on building that solution and then on maintaining it or doing changes on that. So again, we need to look into long term. It's not only the money that I'm investing now, it's also the money that I need to put on maintaining that application in the coming months or years, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when it comes to everything, comes down to ROI. Okay, so don't wish to oversimplify things, but you employing technology really to either sell more, to keep your cost under control, or to capture that market share. So to have metrics in place that will enable you to actually measure how this technology that you're considering employing will align with these three basic business goals that every business in the world has is absolutely key. And having somebody by your side that can consider, study, scratch their heads, and come up with the best technology that, like you said, Andres, not only aligns with the objectives of the short term, but also medium and long term. It's absolutely essential, as well as being competitive in the markets. That's our next point. So to dive a little bit of the importance of tech in terms of competitiveness.
Yeah, again, thinking in the same direction, I think you need to look into a solution that you can maintain being one of the big players, let's say, on the market. So if you're not building something that is following state-of-the-art technologies, probably you're not gonna to continue being there. Probably there are some people here now listen to us that say, okay, maybe I'm not thinking about the super solution, but even if you're managing a small business, you need to think about the future and you need to think about your competitors and try to be on top of that.
Yeah, and to add to that, in many occasions, new businesses are trying to penetrate and get into markets where you already have that competition, and there's a pros and cons of all that. Is your competition embracing AI? Is your competition AI native? Maybe not. Is your competition using, for example, blockchain technologies for certain aspects of the business? Maybe not, but you're bringing something new to the market and you've got that great chance to adopt these technologies early on. So you've got that competitive edge. You can compete with players that have been in the market that maybe they have a bit of a legacy system, so they have to readapt to the new landscape, right? So adopting this early can give you that instant competitive edge rather than sort of relying on legacy systems.
Great. Let's move to the following one then. I think that now we refer to this as the most common options. Of course, maybe you have a dozen of different options that you can take, but we're going to differentiate between three of them. The first will be having a co-founder, a tech co-founder. So if you don't have one, adding a tech co-founder to the company, and then having also an in-house team. So you manage everything inside your company. I think it is clear that our advice is you always need to have someone managing your technology because of the things that we were discussing earlier, right? Now we're discussing these options. The one, again, is having everything inside your company, a tech co-founder plus an in-house team. Another will be having a tech partner working with you. So they are going to work together with you, but they are not going to be part of your company. And then a mix in which we have a tech co-founder but also a tech partner, right? Probably in that case, you have a core team in which you have the co-founder, and then some people leading, could be, I don't know, the front-end development or back-end development or whatever. And then you have this tech partner to take care of the rest of the team that you're gonna have to work in technology. So let's go ahead, let's move on, see pros and cons of each of these alternatives. Miguel, go ahead if you would like to start.
Yeah, well, one of the main pros that we came up when discussing what the tech co-founder option is obviously trust, and I think it's important to define that profile and the characteristics of a tech co-founder. Is either somebody that you went to uni with, college, former colleague, friend, or somebody that has been sort of highly recommended to you. If you've got that person at your disposal and you think you're going to make that call and that person will meet up with you, you can discuss your business idea, you can discuss your objectives, and this person will get as excited as you are about the project and the company and what you're building. Having the trust element in that person, I think personally, is completely priceless. It gets a big problem off your shoulders of having to vet and qualify individuals or companies. So that trust element earlier on is a massive trust for me. I don't know if Andres, you want to add anything to that or jump into one of yours?
No, I agree 100%. You need to work comfortable with someone that you really trust and you both work together on your project, right? But yeah, going to the second point, we are discussing here about incentives alignment. So everybody in the company is going to have the same target, the same incentives. Everybody is going to push in the same direction, even though, of course, we can have something similar. We are going to talk about that in the coming options. But I think that, of course, it is clear that everybody works together in the same company. The incentives should be the same, and everybody is going to work towards that product or that service or whatever. And I think that is also attached to the last point that we will hear that there is a strong culture, right? So if you all work together in the same company, doing the same things, with the same incentives, probably we are going to be able to create a strong culture. We are comparing here with the other options in which we have people from another company. Even though I think that can work really great together, probably you're going to have two different cultures. One for the company that has the product or service, and the other that has the tech team. So that could be, of course, that is something really good for this option and could be a challenge for the other options.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And at the stage the company is the opportunity, right? It's the golden moment when you set the foundations, you set your culture that it's gonna probably be with you for a long time. So nothing better than doing it with a strong technical co-founder where you can both agree that cultural, that direction. So happy to jump in the three cons study that we discussed. Do you want to take the first one, Andres?
Yeah, first I would like to say that for the ones that are listening to us right now, if you have some questions or comments, you have a place that in which you can put those, and we're going to be reading those. It will be now or at the end of the speech. So okay. Then talking about cons, we put here high cost. I think we were thinking here on having, I think both the first and the second one are related, because once you build a team, probably in a company related to technology, you're going to have ups and downs in periods in which you need more people or less people. Sometimes you need to find a particular expert in a subject, etc. So for a company, that's something that is difficult to manage, and then also you're going to have a high cost on maintaining that, because once you have a strong team, you're not going to you don't want to lose that people. So you would like to continue working with them, and at the end could be inefficient for the company. So again, I think the first and the second are attached, in which you, because of the lack of flexibility on managing your team, probably that is going to take some cost. And then I don't know, Miguel, if you would like to comment on that, or to go to the third one.
No, I think you were super clear on those, and yeah, happy to jump on the last and final con that we discussed. And I think it's attached to what I've said earlier about the characteristics of this person. How many people do you know that you can found a company with? You might have thousands of LinkedIn connections and thousands or hundreds of co-workers, but if you ask yourself consciously, well, how many of them can actually sit down with and share this new adventure with? You probably end up with a limited network, and then the funnel can get even narrower if that person isn't available or simply isn't interested in joining a new venture. So although I said earlier that it's priceless, it's nothing better because you will trust the person with your life. Realistically, you will probably go on a deep personal relationship with that individual. And the question is how big your network is and how many actual individuals we can reach out to for taking such an important role. Okay, so yeah, I thought I'd highlight that as a little bit of a con. It's limited people you can reach out to.
Right. Okay, let's move to the next one. I think that now we're going to talk about a tech partner, and of course, in this case, it could be that some of the pros in the previous one are on the cons on this, and vice versa, right? But one of the main pros, I think, is flexibility. You can work together with tech partner and say, okay, I need now 10 developers, then in 6 months I'm going to need 5, and then I'm going to need 15, whatever, and then you don't need to worry about that. The tech partner will be the one that is going to manage that. And then I don't know if you want to comment on that or the following one, Miguel.
No, I think that's the concept is very clear. I thought to just to make a slight comment of why we actually chose the words tech partners, because we could have used tech vendor, okay? And I think there are similarities and quite a big difference between a tech partner and a tech vendor. The ability to correctly execute technical scope and make it into reality is a task not to be undermined by no means. But when we're talking about tech partners, is not just about the technical ability of delivering a technical job and well done. I think what we actually mean by that is combining those technical abilities with business acumen. So ideally, you want to get a tech partner that not only brings you tech ideas, but also business ideas you can put in place. A company is willing to go into partnership with you. So after that small introduction to this slide, I'm happy to jump on to the second point that you mentioned, Andres, the leverage the team experience.
Yeah, great. I think that you mentioned, you mentioned a great point. I think that's critical. I think that difference that you mentioned. Yeah, no, just comment on that. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. And one of main advantages of using a tech partner is you are really tapping into a team, not just an individual. And like in different teams, everybody has a different superpower. So you want to explore what talent actually is available within that tech partner, what experiences are available within that team. And in most cases, this information and this experience will be available to you. Most good tech partners will align with your business goals. And it's not just about altruism. A good tech partner will need you to do well. In a startup world, there's plenty of problems, plenty of things that don't go according to plan. And the general rule of thumb is you don't touch what works, okay? So, and a strong technical partner that can bring you business ideas, you can leverage the experience of the team, can really sort of propel your business in areas that maybe you didn't think about it when you engaged with this company earlier. So I think that's the point concluded. I don't know if you want to add anything to that or jump into the...
No, I think it's extremely clear. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the last one, and we're talking here a cost-efficient organization. I think it's related to the first point, in which you have flexibility. So you're going to have the people that you need at the moment that you need them. You are not going to continue with a team just in case I have additional work or not, or additional development. You're going to plan together with your tech partner, and then you are going to use the people that you need. Okay. And then going to cons, I think I was thinking a lot about this point, because I think that what could be an issue at the very beginning, and that's the reason why you put that, logistics and operations, it could be an advantage at the end if you have the right tech partner, because of course at the beginning you are not the owner of the people that is going to be working with you, so probably you need to transfer your knowledge about the business and then how you would like these people to work on your project. So that working on that logistics and defining the operations could be something difficult. That's the reason why you put that as a cons. But on the other side, once you define that, if you have a good tech partner, once you define that, then I'm pretty sure you can focus on the core of your business instead of looking into that. So again, I think it's critical how you choose your tech partner. I think is the last point that we put here, but I think those points are related. I don't know if you agree, Miguel, on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It does require a process that you need to put in place, basically, to make sure that the right communication channels are in place, so your tech partner is enabled to actually do a good job. And it's a process that shouldn't be undermined by no means, where you might not have that the challenges in place with an in-house team. So very valid point. And what about the alignment on objectives?
Yeah, as I mentioned in the previous slide, in fact, of course, you work as partner, but you have two different companies, one working mainly with services and the other probably focusing on a product or another services that needs the tech partner to work with you. So again, I think as a company, you're going to have different objectives. Then you need to find a way of securing that you have the right things in place in order to align those objectives. But that's a challenge, right? You have different companies with different things, but again, it's about communication and going again to this point on finding the right partner. The good part of this is that, being extremely honest, you have a lot of possible tech partners. The thing is that you need to find the right one, but there's plenty of options all over the world.
Yeah, and you touch on the final con, actually. Is your partner selection process, because at glance it can look as an easy task. You've got many complicated things to look after, but at glance it looks like, well, there's a lot of companies that can be my tech partner. I get in touch with a few. I choose one or two as a finalist, and I follow my gut feelings. But do you think that it will be healthy for you to organically think, what do you expect from a tech partner, and match those expectations with the quotes that you get in, with the quality of speed response that you get in? Do you think that actually should be a process that should be in place to vet the different types of companies that will probably approach you if you're in need of them?
Yeah, for sure. And then I think you mentioned a really interesting point on that, is because it's not only to look into which is going to be the best cost or the lower cost for my company, you need to take into account some other things. I think this is a discussion that I always have with a lot of customers or potential customers. It's not only about the value of the hour or the hourly rate. It is about also productivity. You need to understand in 1 hour which things are you going to be able to deliver, right? And then it is not only about that, it's also about the quality of the things that you're going to be building. So it is, again, it is a complex thing, but having the right help, I think that you can find an excellent solution, considering that you have many options to choose from.
Yeah, and what I will say is don't think too much of throwing curveballs, and ask questions. My business objective is to get in this place in this amount of time. What do you suggest? And you test them why they choose a certain advice and how that actually is making sense and matches your actually business objective. Would you be feel comfortable with a tech partner suggesting X, Y, or Z? So interesting topic. You can discuss for hours. I think we better jump for.
Let's go to the last option. Yeah, in which we have a mix, as we said. So we are gonna see again one of the things that we were already discussing. So it doesn't make any sense to go deeper into that. But again, the pros will be having the tech co-founder plus a tech partner, in which, as I said before, probably you have only the founder or some people, we can call them the core team of the company, and then the rest of the people is going to be part of the tech partner. So you have flexibility, because then the up and downs will be managed through the tech partner. The trust that we mentioned in the first slide is something that also is going to be here because of the co-founder being part of the company, of course. And then on cost efficiency, again, in this case, because of the flexibility that we're going to have, the tech partner is something that we're going to have. And then I think this is a point that we didn't mention before, but it's the tech backup, right? Because you being the owner of a company, you have your team with your people, and then from one day to the other, someone happened, and then you lose one person or two persons, and you need someone to jump into the project really fast. And in that case, I think having a tech partner with some other options to bring people from some other teams, I think that's great. So that's a great product you can have on that. And then, I don't know, Miguel, if you want me to continue with the concert, if you would like to take those.
No, I think just a small comment about it. And I think one interesting pro as well of having this mixed approach is, like you mentioned, you've got an important person leaving your team. The learning curve is lost. All this knowledge that this person has accumulated about your business and your objectives is kind of lost. But if you've got a strong third partner by your side, that actual knowledge is retained within the business. Okay, so the replacement of that individual is always be problematic, but it can be mitigated by having not just an individual collaborator, but actually a company or a solid partner by your side that's accumulating the knowledge of your business, enabling quick replacements or whatever else needed. But I thought to just add to what you just said, Andres, about people leaving.
Okay. Great. Excellent. So, perfect.
Thank you both. We are going to start a Q&A section. So let's see which is the first question we have. Wouldn't it be more efficient to just hire a part-time software engineer?
Yeah. You want to take it, Miguel?
Yeah, I can take part of that. Well, it depends, basically. It depends what the project is asking for and what are your plans. I like to connect this question with a point that we raised earlier, which is seeking investment. So if your objective is to build an MVP you build a good pitch deck, and then you're going to pitch to investors. They will probably, if you're successful, they will probably like to speak to the technical person behind your MVP. And one of the things that they will probably assess is the commitment of the tech team or the person running things on the tech side. So part-time software engineer can work in some scenarios. In some other scenarios, might just not be enough to attract the type of investment or the type of traction that you expect for your business.
And let me add that again, maybe because we can have different sizes of project, which you have a project of $500,000 or a couple of millions dollars, and then we have another with 30K or whatever. What we say is that in every case, you need to find the right tech person to help you in one of these different ways that we mentioned, right? But always it is important to have someone helping you with that. That's critical. Then, of course, you can have different budgets for that. It would be ideal always to have a person being full-time dedicated to your project, because sometimes when you have part-time for something, we are not putting the right focus. But again, the critical is put someone to help you on that. It's critical in your project today to have someone working with you on the tech side of the company.
Great. Let's jump in the next question. So, what sets Stillcontact apart from other tech providers?
Okay, great. In this case, I think there's something that Miguel mentioned on the business acumen. We think that it is critical to understand the business of your customer. It's not just that I'm gonna select an engineer to work with you, even if it is staff augmentation. I think it is good to have a discussion about the business of your customer and see which will be the best profile, not only from the technical point of view, but also from the experience or the knowledge that this person has. So I think that's one of the things that differentiate us from other partners. The other, I think, will be the experience that we have managing projects in different countries, from small to large companies. That's, I think, give us experience on something that I think it is critical in every project, that is communication, right? And I think that attached to that also, that something that I would like to mention is the responsiveness. I was involved in many different projects with critical projects, and I think that I can tell you for sure that in every project you are going to have issues. What differentiates a good and a bad partner is how this partner reacts to the issue that you're going to have. So that's something that we feel proud of, is that we are going to be there working with you in order to solve those issues. We are not going to disappear. So I think I could talk about some other things, but I think those are the critical ones.
Right, thank you. Let's jump into the other one, to the next one. How do we handle potential conflicts of interest if the tech founder is working on other projects simultaneously?
Okay. Again, in this case, as I said, in the ideal scenario, I would like to have someone dedicated full time for my project, right? But if it's not the case, I'm a fan on defining incentives, and those attached, of course, to money. I think that's one of the better ways of managing these things. I think that will be to define the right incentives to secure that, at least at the time that this person is working on my project, understand which is the target, the objective that you have in this project, and is fully aligned with that.
Thank you. So let's go to the other one. Can you give specific examples where a tech founder's contributions help a startup beat its competitors? And what if those competitors already have founders who are just as skilled?
Yeah, that's a challenging one, right? There could be many specific examples, I think, where co-founders helped company beats their competition, and I think the answer comes back to the original point where your tech founder with commercial acumen can really find these pockets where your competition is perhaps not specifically delivering the best of the service that they could, and employ technology to actually overcome these barriers. The second part of the question is didn't kind of understand that well. What if those competitors have tech founders who are just skilled? I assume that they are just as skilled as the tech partner, right? So what I will say is that you can not have enough of experienced individuals within your team. If you've got a really experienced co-founder that can work in tandem with a very experienced tech partner as a team, is you take that as a win, basically. You know, I don't really see any sort of unwanted competition between these two factors.
Great. So let's jump into the conclusion.
What is your conclusion, Andres? What do you think of? Can summarize what we just discussed?
Yeah, I think that we mentioned a couple of times during this conversation. I think that regardless the option that you choose, having a strong technical co-founder, partner, friend, whatever, is critical for the business for many reasons that we were talking about, starting for reaching the right investment, to secure the right return on investment, etc., etc. So I think that is critical. It should be, particularly today, in which most of the businesses have something related to technology. So I think that is critical. You have many options. You have different alternatives, and inside each alternative, probably you have many options. So I think you have no excuse to start working that way. Miguel, would you like to close?
Yeah, well, I think one of the beauties of building something from the ground up is that you've got options. So exercise those options to the best of your advantage. So whether it's a co-founder or a tech partner or a part-time software engineer, if that works for you, go for it.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Andres and Miguel. Thank you for joining us today, everyone. And we hope you found the insights shared today valuable. And if you have any further questions, you can always reach out. Sorry. So thank you very much and good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.